great story. We are one of the few counties that still has the original courthouse and the current courthouse in wonderful, exceptional condition, and that we can meet in both of them on 2 days together. And the reason we brought this together became a mystery to some people that had never heard the history of Madison County, but I'll take a few minutes to give it to you, minus the burning of the courthouse. But the reality is, the biggest fight in the history of Madison County was not the slavery issue. It was the removal of the courthouse and taking it from what was then Morrisville Village to Wampsville, which was not a village at the time. Actually, Wampsville became a village to house the county seat. This fight started in the 1800s, and it raged until it was voted on that a new courthouse would be built in Wampsville. The land for that courthouse was donated by John Wesley Coe, and Mr. Coe owned the piece of property. First he wanted to sell it to him, but then he recanted and said he'd give it to the county for $1. Now, he had been the head of the juries for 14 years, and he was tired of coming to Morrisville by sleigh in bad weather. So he said he would give them the land if they would move it to Wampsville. Now, most people don't realize that the reason for it was hard to get to Morrisville in those days. Actually, the train came from over the far hill as you're coming up from the bear paths. And that station was there, and people actually had to travel to that spot, get off, and then take a horse with a sleigh or carriage to here to do their court business. The train had bypassed them because Eaton Village below had gotten the nod and had paid the $150,000 plus to have it taken to Eaton Village. So at first, Eaton Village tried to sign a petition to have the courthouse moved to Eaton Village, where there was a train. That was blocked by a gentleman by the name of H.B. Coleman, and H.B. Coleman's house still exists in Oneida because he moved to Oneida, probably because he thought he'd be hung by the people of Morrisville. But anyway, he did go down there, and they had a story on his house in the paper not that long ago. Now, the reality of the thing is, it was blocked. And it still didn't come up for a vote. It wasn't opened up to the public until 1907. In 1907, after much wrangling between the town of Lenox, the city of Oneida, and the people of Morrisville, it was brought to a public vote, and it was voted on. And the move to Wampsville was okayed by only 765 votes. 10 of the original towns voted against it. 10 of the 16 voted against it. And even today, there are hard feelings because many people believe the courthouse and the complex should be moved back to a more central location in the county. And so, sort of to make things a wonderful celebration of both the removal for the people of Madison Hall and for the beautiful courthouse we have today, we decided to put this little shindig on for you. So thank you so much for coming. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Michelle Jenkins to come up here, because Michelle Jenkins has done a portrait of James Warren Nye. Now, his portrait never hung in the courthouse. Even though if you go to the back, you can see the portraits that did hang here, which will be on display tomorrow in Wampsville. However, he had a bad taste in his mouth about Morrisville, and Morrisville, of course, had decided they weren't going to do anything with him. Maybe they thought they'd get the building going again. So his picture was never there, and so Michelle, you come up, we made a copy of the beautiful drawing, and now he can